Imagine this. People around Indy creating new ideas, discovering new potential, developing new concepts, designing the future, and daring to dream beyond the realms of imagination. I'm your host, Ashton Wolf, and this is Indy on the Town.
Now that I'm the co-host of an exciting show like Indy on the Town, I figured it's time to up my t-shirt game. So today, I'm talking with Byron of Black Sheep Collective, a local Indianapolis t-shirt company. Let's check it out.
What's going on? My name is Byron from Black Sheep Collective. Black Sheep Collective is a faith-based lifestyle brand with a focus on encouraging people to embrace their God-given individuality and uniqueness. We do that through a series of designs, our t-shirts and stickers and buttons and all that stuff. I have been illustrating since I was 2. So I've been drawing for a really, really long time. I would say, as I started to graduate from high school, I was trying to think of what I could even do with this skill. For a really long time, I wanted to be a comic book artist and a cartoonist, and a lot of that stuff is still inside of me. I still gravitate very heavily towards things like that. Maybe at the time, I felt like, animation and comic books and things of that nature was a little bit more lofty, a little bit more out of reach. So I felt like graphic design was kind of like the next step as far as like me finding a career. At the point that I started to even think about Black Sheep Collective, I had been working at an agency for a little while. And I was doing what I like to call faux creativity, which is you're using your skill to create for someone else. Like it's really their idea, it's their dream, it's their passion, right? Which is cool, right? You get to lend your skill to help someone achieve something that they would not be able to do on their own. But I wasn't making anything for myself, and I was feeling kind of unfulfilled, honestly. And so for me, I think for me to really feel like I was achieving something, or to feel like I had some type of purpose, or I believe this was my purpose, honestly, was to take my beliefs, my faith, and a lot of the things that I don't feel like were being shared a whole lot in Christianity or in faith at the time, at least, from my perspective, and take the same skills that I developed over all these years, creating for all these other people, or, whether it be freelance or agency life, and take that same level of proficiency and thought, care, and professionalism and put it towards something like this, right? Growing up in church and things of that nature, a lot of Christian-based art you see was always kind of lackluster when it came to quality. And I felt like that was because they knew their audience and all they had to do was put a scripture on it or say it was from Jesus or something like that. And the audience at the time would just eat it up. And that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, and I feel like that's how most people saw Christians and faith, because it's been presented in this very corny, lackluster package. And I always had a big affinity for like the Renaissance painters, right? where it's like they were the best at what they did. They were the best painters, they were the best sculptors. Sure, they might have, used Christianity and whitewashed it through all this process, so on and so forth. Kind of turned it into a superpower for white supremacy. But all that aside, if you look at what they were making, you got the Sistine Chapel and you got Michelangelo's David, like they were inspired by the word and they made beautiful things. And even if you didn't believe in what the subject matter was, you cannot argue with the method, you cannot argue with the end result. Like, you were still in awe with the beauty of that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the messages that I think are awesome and not being shared as much, very positive messages like love and faith and how to treat, people and restoring the lens of humanity to your fellow brothers and sisters, and, just treating people with respect, and putting it on a t-shirt in a way that wasn't whack or lame and was what I called a visual parable. So like, grabbed your attention, reeled you in, and then maybe we can have a conversation about the ethereal or the, astronomical or the universal or the faith-based or whatever the case may be. So my influences for my work with Black Sheep Collective, from a subject matter standpoint, most definitely the Bible, most definitely Jesus specifically, and how he talked to people, how he spoke, the things that he said, how he commanded for us to treat one another, and how we should be ourselves, right? Which is loving and caring people who care about social injustices, who care about, people who are less fortunate than us, who care about, our brothers and our sisters, our neighbors on this planet, those things, right? But from a visual standpoint, I would say that I'm definitely very heavily influenced by comic books and manga, which is just Japanese comic books. But like, it's such a beautiful marriage of the complexity of illustration and the simplicity of graphic design. So this design is from our Be Not Conformed collection that we launched last year. It is a design that pretty much is the giant culmination of basically what Black Sheep Collective is about. So this is design, like I've been doing Black Sheep Collective for, I counted as 4 years, coming up in September. At the very nucleus of it, what I want to get across with my artwork is for us to be okay with being different, because I believe that we were crafted to be different, and to try to be like everybody else kind of cheapens the experience, the life experience that I believe we are supposed to have. That's the first thing. The second one is to love each other and treat each other right. This shirt that I'm wearing, this hat that I'm wearing is going to be a part of a new launch that's coming out in September to kind of celebrate our 4 years really being out. And this shirt, I can kind of show it, but this is called Made in God's Image, is the name of the launch, and it's again really solidifying that whole concept of us being brothers and sisters, and us being, fellow human beings on this planet. And whether you look at it from a biblical standpoint or from a scientific standpoint, we all come from the same place as a human race, as a human body. Preaching this message with my art, and I'm gonna do it till I'm blue in the face, until I'm in the grave.
What a cool concept. And I love seeing somebody bring such passion for art to help spread a powerful message. But stick around, because after the break, we're revisiting an important piece of entertainment history that's currently making a resurgence: the drive-in movie theater.